Welcome in. It's ACC Baseball Etc, part of the D1 Baseball Podcast Network, and as always, presented by our friends at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Summer's almost over, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't keep hitting up Academy. The sun's out and the fun is on at Academy Sports and Outdoors. You can score a cool pool, savor summer flavor with a grill, prep for fishing weekends, or mount up with a new mountain bike. However you have fun, you can't lose with their top brands. Gear up online at academy.com or at your local store. I'm Daron Vaught. Danny Graves, the Miami Hurricanes Hall of Famer, is here as usual. And Danny, we have the pleasure of being joined by, get this, follow me here, a New England legend who's making his ACC coaching debut this fall. And I'm not talking about Bill Belichick. It is new assistant coach at Miami, World Series champion with the Boston Red Sox, Jarrod Saltalamacchia. Salty, good to see you. How are you?
I'm great. Well, I was a South Florida legend before the New England legend, so born and raised down here.
It's so awesome to see these colors on here, Daron, because I get so nervous about wearing these colors because somebody might say something. I should have worn them today knowing that Salty was going to wear them.
I honestly figured you would. You sometimes, Salty, he does this thing because programs will send him gear. Gravy occasionally will pander to a coach when we have them on or something. So like he'll have like a digital camo Boston College cap on or something like that when we talk to their coaches, that sort of thing. I really expected the Miami gear to be out in full force.
I didn't want it to make it look like I was favoriting anything, even though deep down I am. I think everybody knows that. But it's great to have you in the family, Salty.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you're smart. You got to play the field. You can't upset anybody. You don't want to rock the boat. But it is hurricane season down here, so Miami is number one.
Yeah. So, Salty, this is very new. Very recent. The announcement, I think, was just made last week when I reached out to you about coming on with us. How long has this been in the works prior to the announcement? Like, how long have you known you were going to be there at Miami this fall?
I've known Laz for a long time, our pitching coach here. So I've known him for a while, and he's been really trying to get me, over here. Things had to line up and work out. I've been coaching out in the Cape Cod League, so ton of interviews, ton of applications been sent out because I knew this is where I wanted to be in the college world. So speaking with Laz last, fall, and then into the spring, met JD, talked to him a little bit, and then it really just kind of happened over the summer. I'd say probably 4 weeks into the summer season, and then about 2 weeks before the season ended. So about 4 weeks ago is when I knew for sure.
So you mentioned that this is where you wanted to be in the college realm. So was it hard to recruit you, so to speak, to get you on board down there with Laz and JD?
No, I can tell them that now. There was zero, recruiting they had to do. They just had to offer it and I was done. But I played hardball. I played the game. I was like, I don't know. I've got 4 daughters. One's going to college. I don't know what I can do.
I'm a Cape Cod legend.
Yeah, I've been Cape Cod for 4 years. We were in the championship 3 of the 4 years. Like, I got a good thing going here. But if you're going to twist my arm, I'll come.
How much of, and because again, we'll get into it. You had a long, successful professional career. Maybe you can talk about how coaching became a thing for you. But I'm curious how college baseball coaching became a thing for you, because the worlds are the same in a lot of ways, but different in a lot of ways. And then with the time in the Cape, I would imagine that probably informed a little bit of sort of your direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Gravy, as a baseball player, that's what you do. That's who you are. That becomes your identity. So even when you retire, it's that the transition's really tough. But I was a catcher, so I was a student of the game. I had to learn all aspects of it, work with pitchers, position players, talk to hitters to see what their cues were, to maybe I face them later on and I can get them out with something that they mentioned to me. So baseball has always been in my blood. I've always wanted to do it. I didn't know if it was at the pro level, the high school level, or college level. And to be honest, when I first retired, I thought pro ball was where I wanted to be. But my family, I just was gone for 17 years. So I needed to be around them and be close to home. So I started doing the high school thing, which I loved, trying to instill that baseball mentality in these kids, because it's a travel ball world now. It's not a bad thing, but there's a lot that could be learned and be taught better. But it's become a big business. So, that's when I went out to the Cape Cod League and worked with college kids. And I'm like, man, these kids are hungry. They have the team culture mindset. They have goals, and they're athletic enough to make the adjustments that I have for them. So I felt like that's where I needed to be. And then, talking to some pro guys, they said the game's changed. You don't want to do the pro game. It's tough. It's 12 months a year. You're working year round, and it's just not really worth it. So here I am.
And you probably get more of a say as a college coach than as a pro coach, I would imagine these days, especially with all the analytics. But tell me, Salty, do you have? I know the title is Director of Player Development. Is that what it is, or what?
Sounds good. Yes, let's go with that one.
Good. Perfect. I was right on. So, what exactly? Tell everybody what your duties will actually be day to day.
Yeah, so I think my primary responsibility is going to be the catchers. They had 3 catchers last year, I believe. One of them had the bulk of the innings and did a great job. He was an older kid, so he was really trustworthy. Obviously they went into the portal and got Sosa, who's a phenomenal athlete. Mm-hmm. He did really well behind the plate, obviously more known for his bat. And that's kind of, I feel like I relate with him because that's who I was. Everyone told me I was an offensive-minded catcher and this and that, and I hated it, because I always was worried about the pitchers. I wanted to focus. I mean, I would rather catch a no-hitter and bat 0-20, the whole season and win a World Series than hit 400 with 30 homers and, come in last. So I'm really excited to work with him and try and, see where he's at. Obviously, we got Jackson Hughes is coming in. His brother was here, so he kind of understands the culture. So that's going to be good, and he's had good numbers. And then we have a young kid, Alonso Alvarez, who's a California kid, was sought after in the draft and stuff. And thankfully he was able to, not get drafted and come here because he's a stud. So I'm excited to work with the catchers, obviously help JD out with anything he needs. I don't want to step on toes, but every coach has told me the same thing. Listen, if you got information, give it to us. Let's talk. The culture here has been, absolutely phenomenal.
I want to circle back on the 4 years doing with teams in the Cape. It is part of the uniqueness of college baseball, that summer ball circuit, and there's no better place to do it than there. How did that affect you as a coach, that time there?
As far as what?
Take it however you want, right?
So as an assistant coach with Scott Landers, I was kind of did everything. I was doing the pitching a little bit. I was working with catchers, hitters, and stuff. So I was kind of spread out everywhere, but I loved it because I could coach. This past year, I was the manager. So I had a lot of other stuff I had to do. I couldn't really coach as much. So I learned quickly that I do not want to, coach at this level anytime soon. I enjoy, being the guy underneath everybody that just works and behind the scenes. But it is tough. It is tough. As a manager, I saw a lot more that I didn't see as an assistant. The amount of portal situations going on, agents calling, coaches calling from other schools, talking about this kid. Can he play here? What do you think? What kind of money? It's just crazy amount of stuff that goes on. And these kids, it's tough. This is the first time they're ever going through this. So they're trying to compete against the best of the best while they don't know what the future holds for them. They don't know where they're going to be. They don't know the situation. So it's kind of sad to see, but I think it gives them a little glimpse of what pro baseball will be like.
Throughout the years, I feel like catchers, just obviously for reasons that we know that you're a student of the game, but you see the whole game. A lot of catchers become coaches or managers at whatever level after retirement. Was there a time during your playing days that you knew that you wanted to do this and go into this? Was it because I know that you were a mentor towards the end of your career to a lot of the younger guys coming up? Is that when you felt like you needed to be in the coaching realm?
Yeah. You know how baseball is, especially in the big leagues. It's a roller coaster. It's up and down. So actually in 2009, I was sitting in the minor leagues and I was dealing with the yips and I had thoracic outlet syndrome. So I got the surgery. And I remember sitting in there in the bullpen and I'm like, yeah, I think that I'm ready to retire and this isn't working for me. I'm going to go become a teacher, a police officer, and coach high school baseball. What goals is that? I mean, I kudos to those that do it because I did it. But, I knew that there was something more. And thankfully, something inside of me said, no, you're not a quitter. You've got to grind through this. And then that's when I got traded to Boston and the rest was history. But yeah, I think that was the beginning stages. And then you really don't think about any kind of future, as you know, until you're actually done. So once I retired and I didn't know what I was going to do, and my wife says, you need to get out of the house. I think that's when I was like, all right, I got to start coaching and helping out the younger generation. Because Graves, when we were playing, the older generation created what we had.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everything that we have today is because of someone before us. Mm-hmm. And I think now that's getting kind of lost in this younger generation, that they're just kind of expecting things to be there for them. And, I wanted to be a voice for those guys that gave us everything we have.
Yeah. It's funny when we retire, our wives aren't ready for us to retire. They want us to beat it.
Yeah. I mean, they hated when we were playing and then we retire and they're like, you got to go. You got to go.
Yeah.
If I may, when talking to college age players, Salty, how often does it come up that you're a World Series champion? Like, how often do you get to brag on that or tell a story
or show your ring?
Yeah, right. Like, how often does that happen?
It's funny. It does happen pretty much all the time right now, but I'm humble and I understand that there's that age group right now. Like I've got kids here that are, born in 2008. You know what I mean? There's going to be, once it gets past 2013, they're going to be like, who are you again? Like, did they have any video of you? What, I don't, so staying relevant was always important to me just because I knew that that's how my voice, I was given this platform to, help others. So I think being at the high school level, I wasn't able to use that platform as much as I wanted to. And I think that's why this move happened. And, like I said, I'm not an ego guy. I don't need to be on TV every night. If I can help this generation go and be those guys on TV right now, getting the $300-400 million contracts, then I've done my job.
Yeah. So are you excited for the fact of the Omaha life? Because definitely now that I feel like Miami's back on track, Daron, we agree, right? Miami's back where.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like you used to be with Miami, we just wanted Omaha or nothing. Like there was nothing else. So have you thought about that possibility? I know you got to take things day by day and I get it, but the end goal, like big leagues, you wanted to win a World Series and you did. So now at Miami, you want to get to Omaha.
Yeah. I mean, I'd tell you, it's impossible not to think about it because that's the conversations every single day. I think that our first team meeting, we were talking about Omaha. We were talking about, how long it's been since we've been there. The president of the school and CEO was talking about it in our compliance meeting saying, hey, in 2016 is the last time that we were in Omaha and last time we were in a super regional. We were one game short this year and ball. So, I mean, JD, what he's created here with these kids, I mean, he is like, the dad, but also the disciplinarian. I mean, he has made it known to these kids, hey, if you see someone on campus or at the field, they're not there for no reason. Make sure you introduce yourself, look them in the eye. The respect that the players have for him is really, admirable for. I mean, I just can't put it into words, I guess, what I think he means to this program. And then having Laz there as well, who's been a sports psychologist. He's been in professional baseball for 17 plus years. He's coached it. He's done all aspects of it. He's coached at the college level. I mean, the amount of tools that are here for these kids, if you can't build a championship team, then it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You have joined a new team per se a lot in your life as a baseball player and a coach. So I'm curious on a very human level, how's the transition going and in what ways is it maybe comparable or different from other joinings of teams?
I mean, we're, as baseball players, as athletes, I mean, that's how you're bred. It's adapt and adjust constantly. So, I mean, I guess playing for 7 different teams, you learn, that, hey, you got to pay your dues. You got to come in. You got to introduce yourself. What I've learned, and it doesn't matter if it's a high school kid, a middle school kid, or a professional, they know. They're not dumb. They know if you actually do care about them, So the most important thing for me is to kind of keep my mouth shut, listen to them, understand where they're coming from, always be there for them so they kind of start to trust you and understand that, all right, this guy is here for me. And then they'll start to listen and adapt and adjust as well.
This is totally off the cuff here, but have you talked to GM, the equipment manager, about what you're going to put on the back of your jersey? Have you ever asked to put Salty on it?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be, I know it's so cool seeing the kind of the rainbow with all the letters in your name, but Salty would be so legit.
Yeah, well, I guess now they got those City Connect jerseys in the Players Week or whatever that is,
That would have made things a lot easier for you.
Yeah, it's acceptable. You know what? It would, because fun fact is my off-season program was built around getting big enough so that it fits on my jersey. And now I haven't really worked out in a year or so I need to get back in the weight room.
For clarity, for those who maybe are unaware, Jarrod at one time could claim I believe so too. I'm going to get to that.
Yeah.
So Salty at one time could claim, and I believe he should still be able to claim, longest last name in Major League history. Mm-hmm. They give it to Simeon Woods Richardson now, but there's a space in there. That's 2 names, man. Come on.
That doesn't count. That's an asterisk. That name's on steroids.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Because that's 2 names. That's not one name.
That's what I'm saying. So, I've never heard you talk about like trying to widen out, like get the car hood for a back to be able to withstand that thing. But it makes sense because at some point, like, if you were a smaller guy, there's a scenario where that just kind of like wraps all the way around the number.
Yeah, I never would have made it. You know how the clubhouse managers, they pretty much run that team, so they would have said, no, you can't call that kid up because I don't have any letters to fit him. And, it would have been a whole different mess. It would have been a mess.
Yeah, it would have just been Jarrod back.
That's not a bad solution either, Jarrod.
No.
That could work.
Paycheck still says the same thing. So
right.
I want to touch on your big league career, Jarrod, if we may. We do this with Danny a lot, especially in the off season. We put the etc. in the title of our show for that purpose, right? We sort of reserve the right to go down certain pathways. And we do a thing with him we call Hall of Name. And it goes that I just name a former teammate of his, and whatever the first thing to come to mind for him is, he just word vomit, right? It could be an awkward encounter, the first time you met this person, just whatever comes to mind. Would you mind if we did a little bit of Hall of Name with you?
I'm getting a little scared, but yeah.
Well, here, sure. let me just make you feel more comfortable. There was one player he mentioned to me, and I mentioned that he was a human tripod. So we can go.
So you
can go as far,
rated.
You can go as far as you need to an extent,
Yeah.
Oh man, that's whew. All right.
The first one is maybe the most obvious. I already mentioned the World Series championship, and this guy was a menace as a college baseball player, Dustin Pedroia.
Oh man, Pee-wee. He's a grinder, I guess would be the name. We just give one name, or do we have to give like
just you just give me whatever you got on Pedroia.
So Pee-wee has the best one-liners of anybody. I mean, Josh Beckett's a close second, but I can't help but think of Pee-wee just sitting there when people are just crushing him in the stands, about how short he is. And he's like, yeah, let me stand on my wallet and I'll be, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And some other vulgar stuff is a little bit more, but it's funny. I was actually just talking to Pee-wee a couple of days ago because, I'm like, hey, dude, I'm in Miami now. You want to go ahead and early sign your kids? Let's go. Let's get it done.
That's good.
I'll throw one out there.
Yeah.
Your time in Atlanta, Chipper Jones.
Whew. He is the coolest white guy I've ever met. How about that? He is like everything. Even his jog around the bases was just something you just couldn't stop and you had to stare at him. I remember one time he was in his routine at day games would just to go in the cages in his sliding shorts and no shirt and just take BP and get ready for the game. And I'm like, even he makes that look cool. If I did that, everyone's like, dude, what are you doing? Go get dressed, get out of here. So, yeah.
Love it. I love it.
I'm going to go one more. And of course, that's with the understanding that you played with other teams. But how could we not do this and not mention David Ortiz?
Oh man, I got some different stories about him I can't really talk about, but I mean, he is obviously the most obvious. He's the most clutch player in playoff history or in the game, but probably the best smelling guy I've ever been around.
Huh.
I mean, he's got like 12 bottles of different colognes that I don't know if it's like a certain day he wears them or what. But I mean, he smells amazing. Obviously he doesn't remember names, but he's still probably one of the better teammates I've ever
had. That's hysterical. He probably doesn't remember a lot of the names of people he played with. You're right. Did he wear the cologne before the game? Because I played with some Dominican guys who would put it on before the game starts.
Oh yeah, I mean he's up to. I mean he had a really good routine. Like I said, I can't really go into his routine in between the bats. But the guy was able to flip the switch on and off like nobody else. I mean it was unbelievable. He'd be upstairs having a full-on conversation with who knows, his banker or lawyer, who knows, and then go downstairs and hit a 3-run homer. I mean it's unbelievable what he was able to do. Yeah, but he smelled good. Didn't matter. I mean as an opposing player, he walks to the plate and you're like, oh man. You get mesmerized how good he smells. So.
All right, I lied. I've got one more, and it's just because it just hit my brain. I just worked with this person doing some little league stuff for ESPN, and he just retired. They were actually his first games ever as an analyst. You played with him in Toronto, Kevin Pilar.
Ooh, Pilar, Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played with him for a little bit. I was only there for a month, but I played against him. He would run through a wall. We've got a mutual friend out in California somehow. We just got to talking about him, and like everything he described was exactly right. The guy he's a grinder. He's not flashy as far as like, hey, I got to look this way. I got to have the yellow batting gloves. He showed up to play every single day. And I heard he's a pretty good golfer. So he comes down to Florida because he's close with Devon Travis as well, who's, one of my good friends. And me and him are gonna have a lot of trash talking this year because he's a Florida State guy and, obviously down in Miami. But yeah, he's supposedly a pretty good golfer. So I got to get on the course with him.
So did you play against Devon in high school? Are you guys about the same age?
I actually mentored Devon. He was 2-3 years younger than me, and he was at a different high school, but we had the same hitting coach. So every time I worked, I had Devon come over, talk him through the process and agent and all that stuff. And he's got a kid now, and his second one should be here in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was just with him in San Bernardino. This one of the best guys I've ever met.
Most positive person. I mean, it's
unbelievable.
Like Sean Casey and him are like lost twin brothers or something. It's like it's almost like you can't be that happy, dude. You got to let me hear something else other than happiness.
Yeah. Say something negative just for a second.
I almost just want him to complain about something once in my life when I see him, just to know he's capable.
Well, he's coaching at an academy now that they're opening it up. And I'm like, he's telling me how great this kid is, Like, dude, you've got to be honest with these kids. If he's not good at something, you got to tell him. Otherwise, he's going to continue. Like, you can't be all positive all the time. He's like, oh, man, these great kids. I said, I get it. They're all great kids, but you've got to be honest.
Yeah. He's awesome.
All right, that's all I've got for names. Unless you've got another one or two, Gravy. No,
I'm good. We can go on for days with that.
Yeah,
I was expecting like a Sammy Sosa. Like I got some old guys that I played with.
Yeah,
so, I mean, Sammy Sosa.
Go ahead. Tell us about
me
Sammy.
In the shower. I was a young rookie in Texas, and I was just joking around like, Sammy Sosa, forget him, whatever. And I didn't realize he was walking in the shower. And he's like, forget Sammy Sosa, huh? And he just went off on me. And I was like, I felt like I was a foot tall. And I'm like, dude, I'm done. I'm getting sent out of here. Sammy Sosa hates me. And then at the end of the season, he gave me an invitation to come to his home run, celebration of his 500 or 600, wherever he ended up hitting. I think it was a 600 party. I'm like, all right, Sammy likes me again. We're good.
So he yelled at you when you both were naked in the shower?
Yes. Yeah. Which probably made it a little more awkward, but it's a great strategy. You're not going to fight someone naked in the shower, but
true, very true. Yeah.
That's fantastic, man. We'll let you go with a couple more things on Miami. Can I just ask broadly, like what excites you most about this opportunity?
Honestly, at first it was just having the opportunity to coach at a Power 4, Power 5 type school. Not many people get this opportunity, and like I said, I actually had to finish school after I was done playing. We get that in our contract, so it took me 5 years to finish it because we had some house moving and stuff. So it's tough. Like I'm like, dude, I got 10 years in the big leagues. How do I not have an opportunity somewhere? So at first I was excited with the opportunity. As soon as I walked into the building, that's when the real excitement. I'm like, dude, these guys are all in Omaha. Here we go. Talking about the players, the recruits, everything that goes in that I didn't know went behind the scenes. That's what's making me like really excited. Watch these guys run on the field, barefooted, no shirt, like going after it. It's a competitive fall, so these kids are getting ready to step into something that, that's why we play the game, to compete, so I get to do that and watch it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Amazing. What else you got, Daron?
Well, I mean, I think that's it. I was kind of leaving the door open for you on a last note.
No, I'm good. I thought you said you had a couple more things to ask him.
Do you want to rah-rah him a little bit because he's with your guys?
I know. I'm so excited. Dude.
I don't know.
What do I need to know? Because like right now, there's a lot of excitement I've heard about me because I played for the Marlins. It was a short-lived play, but I played for them. So everyone's like, "Oh, back in Miami, 305." But like, what do I need to know here in Coral Gables?
Don't go to Coconut Grove or South Beach on Thursday night.
Thursday night, all right. But any other night's good. Perfect.
Any other night you might be all right, but it just was never a good idea back then when I was in school. JD will tell you, we drug him out a few times, and we all regretted those times. Yeah.
All right. I'll definitely ask him then.
That's good. That's good. And you got Gravy on speed dial in case you do have questions as you get acclimated, right? So he's happy to help.
And I'll be honest if I have any answers for you.
That's what I need, honesty.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, Salty, man, we're excited to have you in the league, excited to have you in our college baseball community. Yeah. I'm pumped for the season, pumped for you guys to let it rip this fall, and we'll be talking. We'll see you around for sure.
No, I appreciate it. I enjoy watching guys. Gravesy, I wish I had some food. I know food's kind of your thing at all these ballparks. You're just crushing it. That's what pitchers do, and that's what baseball players do. We just crush food, so I get it.
Yeah, I love to eat, man. I'd love to eat.
Awesome,
Here.
guys. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Salty.
Thanks, Salty.
Appreciate you.